Hey, what's going on, family? All praise to the Most High Yah. Today I'm going to be talking about Genesis 1. Now, if you've seen the last two videos I did talking about my belief and the background, how I came to believe in the Bible, I kind of took a roundabout way, and it had to do a lot with flat earth. All right. Me coming out of pagan background, meditation, things like that. I didn't believe in the Bible whatsoever. I wouldn't have believed a word, and I would have told you that man made this, and it wasn't inspired by the Most High, and et cetera, et cetera. But after finding out that the earth is flat with the dome overhead, I came to the Bible, and when it said that, it made me question what else the Bible had in here, and what other things that I didn't know did the Bible actually talk about. So today I'm going to be talking about Genesis 1 because when I was younger, I tried reading Genesis and I couldn't even get past Genesis 10 because it didn't make sense to me. And for most Christians, they probably don't even go back to Genesis 1 because they're always in the New Testament. They're Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and the Acts. That's where they like to hang out. And, the Corinthians and what all the other ones in the New Testament. But those are the main 5 books that I hear talked about the most. But let's talk about Genesis, all right, because the Bible is a flat earth book, and I'm going to prove that today. So we're going to start down in Genesis 1:6. All right, and this is the New Revised Standard Version. It said, God said, let there be a dome in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. So God made the dome and separated the waters that were under the dome from the waters that were above the dome, and it was so. So for you guys that are like, all right, what type of Bible is he reading? I've brought up other versions of the Bible as well. And God said, let there be a vault between the waters to separate the waters from the waters. What does a vault mean? A vault is an arch structure, usually made of stones, concrete, or bricks, forming a ceiling or a roof over a hall, room, sewer, or other wholly or partially enclosed construction. An arched structure resembling a vault. So it is an ark. And I'm going to give you what your world actually looks like. An ark. All right? An ark overhead. That's what this dome is. It's an ark. All right? And so this says vault. This one says let there be a space. This is why I don't like using the NLT. It does a lot of weird translations. Do not get the NLT. A lot of them say expanse, expanse, expanse. The older versions say firmament. Firmament. What does firmament mean? Firmament means the vault of heaven, the sky, or the ark of heaven. All right? So a lot of them say firmament, firmament, firmament. But yeah, so let's go back over to this one. It says, so God made the dome and separated the waters that were under the dome from the waters that were above the dome. And it was so. So when science tells you look up to the sky and, the air, the sky is blue because oxygen. All right. But there's oxygen between me and you. All these different particles, and it makes the sky blue. Well, it's not biblical. The Bible says that there's waters above and that there are waters below. The waters below being the seas, the oceans that we're about to go speak of right now. God called the dome sky, and there was evening and there was morning the second day. Let the waters under the sky be gathered together in one place, and let the dry land appear. So at this time, the whole world was connected. When a lot of scientists talk about Pangea, where all the continents were connected, and it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called the seas. Okay? So if you haven't ever seen Pangea before, let me see if I can pull this up real quick, just to give you guys an idea of what that would look like. So, Pangea, you got all the continents together, all right? All of them, he said they gathered into one place. So let's keep going. I'll explain as to why we no longer have Pangea, because it's in the Bible. if I go to Genesis 11, let me pull up the NSRB. If you've ever heard of Nimrod and the Tower of Babel. Okay, Nimrod was the guy who wanted to make war against the Most High. If you've heard of the New World Order, this is the first world order. That's why they call it the New World Order, because it happened before. And it's in the Bible, the Tower of Babel. Now the whole earth had one language and the same words. And as they migrated from the east, they came upon a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. And they said, come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly. And so this is them, making a tower. And I'm going to drop down a little bit. The Lord came down to the city and the tower which mortals had built. All right, look, all the people are one. And they all have one language. All right, so they're all one. That's what the New World Order is trying to do. They're trying to make one government, one religion under Satan, one currency, the mark of the beast, one leader, the Antichrist. All right. So let's keep going. It said, let's go down and confuse their language so that they will not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from over the face of the earth, and they left off building the city. That's why you have different languages. All right. Therefore, it was called Babel, because the Lord confused the language of all the earth. And from there, the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of the earth. So that's why you see you have, let me find a better picture for you guys real quick. Let me just pull this up. You see, I'll use the AE map. Everything is scattered when everything was once connected. The AE map. All right, everything is scattered. North America, South America, Eurasia, Africa, and Australia. Antarctica is the ice wall. All right, around it. That's why you can't go to Antarctica. That's another story for another day. Look up the Antarctic Treaty, 1959, 1961. All right, check that out for yourself, man. So let's get back to it. Genesis, all right, not Genesis 11, but that describes why it's no longer together. Let's go back to Genesis 1. All right, so where did we leave off? All right, so this is the third day. He's making all the vegetation. And 14, God said, let there be lights in the dome of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. Signs and for seasons, for days and for years. What do you think these lights are? And let them be lights in the dome. He put them in the dome, all right, or in the firmament, or in the vault, okay? So when they say we went up to the moon, we would have to therefore have gone through the vault or the dome in order to get to the moon, all right? And the dome of the sky to give light upon the earth. And it was so. God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night and the stars, all right? So, at this point, I'm sure you guys know what those two great lights are. Sun, moon, and then you have your stars. Okay? Another depiction of it. So this is why I never really got the Bible. It's because I'm like, even when I was going to Christian schools when I was younger, I would think, or Bible study, Sunday school, I'm like, how do you flood a ball? Like, that totally goes against what, like science, and that doesn't make sense. And they try to make it say, oh, gravity and this, that, and the other. I'm like, nah, but that doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. But when you're living on the flat earth, you can clearly see he opened the windows of heaven. All right, the windows of heaven. And when he dropped the water from above, because again, there's waters above, and it filled up like a bathtub. All right, and that's how he flooded the earth. All right, another one was when they were creating the Tower of Babel to go build a tower all the way up so that they could make war with the Most High. Literally, all they were doing was building a big building to go up and try and break through the firmament. Okay? And so, all this concept of outer space, it's not biblical. Look at all these. These are ancient civilizations who all said the same thing. They all said we were in an enclosed structure. An enclosed structure. The Greeks, the Navajos, Babylonians. We're not even going to get on what's in the middle of the structure, because if you look at it, that will make the North Pole the middle. And you don't hear about the North Pole too much after you stop believing in Santa Claus, you don't really think about it too much. But, the North Pole said to have something up there that's, pretty cool. The big mountain, all compasses point north. I wonder why. All right, all of them. Enclosed structure. Water overhead. The only one that doesn't is this one right here. You got NASA. The cut-ups. All right, so let's keep going. And yeah, so I pretty much talked about that. So to give you guys an idea of what that would look like, because for those who believe that we're following the sun all around the earth, and I mean, we're following the sun all around the galaxy and the Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto, and everybody's just in orbit, circling the sun and spinning and rotating all which way throughout the galaxy. This is kind of a big shocker, This could come as a big shocker. So I'm going to point to a couple verses that prove the earth is flat. Hebrew flat earth, flat earth, flat earth, flat earth. It's crazy, right? Let me find that one picture. Here we go. So I'm going to go to one of my favorites, because when you read the Bible, you'll come across Joshua. I think that's the 5th book. Joshua. And he was in the valley of 6th book after Deuteronomy. He was in the valley of Ajalon, and he commanded the sun to stand still. He prayed to the Most High, and the Most High listened to him, and the sun stood still and the moon stopped until the nation took vengeance on their enemies. Is this not written in the book of Jashar or Jashir? All right. The sun stopped in mid-heaven and did not hurry to set for about a whole day. All right, do you understand what that means for the sun to stop? If you're on a heliocentric model, all right, that means Earth stopped. That means the moon stopped. That means Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, everything shut down. For this man to take his vengeance on his enemies. But if you look at it in a geocentric model, which up to the 15th century, that was what most people believed in before Nicholas Copernicus and Galileo started, saying otherwise, then it would make sense. The sun, all right, going around. You got the moon. The sun stopped. The moon stopped. And he took his vengeance, all right? And that's why you'll hear stories of certain civilizations on one side of the world talking about an extremely long day, while other civilizations on another side of the world talk about an extremely long night. Okay? Check it out for yourself. Don't take anything I say for face value. You can check this out. We have the internet. While we still have it, look it up for yourself, man, before they start burning these books, because it's going against it's going against their agenda. And people are starting to wake up to it. All right. The sheep are starting to wake up. Let's see what Psalms 19:6 says. Its rising is from the ends of the heavens, and its circuit to the end of them, and nothing is hid from its heat. All right. I wonder what it could be talking about. Psalms 19:1. Let's check out what David's talking about. King David. The heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims his handiwork. Interesting. I know Job had something to say. What did Job say about this? Job. The book of Job, 37:18. All right, I'm not going to go through all of these. Job says, or God said to Job, can you like him spread out the skies, hard as a molten mirror? Hard, so that implies that you can touch it, that is tangible as a molten mirror. All right, so when they say that they went through it to get to the moon, I have some questions. But now they can't get back to the moon, supposedly because the Van Allen radiation belt. All right, they haven't been to the moon since the 1970s, but they lost all the technology to get back to the moon, and it gets really deep. But long story short, they never went to the moon in the first place because they would have had to go through the dome to get there. All right, let's do a couple more, and then I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Let's see. Circle of the earth, Isaiah 4:22. All right, not the sphere of the earth, but the circle of the earth. Let's see what he says. Not typing the wrong thing. Let me see. Isaiah 40:22. All right. Isaiah 40:22 says, "It is he who sits above the circle of the earth." The what? The circle of the earth. All right. "And its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them like a tent." Like a what? Like a tent to live in. All right? Come on. Like when you read this, the Bible opens up so much more when you understand that we're living on a flat earth and that God did make us, or the Most High Yahweh did make us in his image. Okay? And that he is watching us and he sees everything, all of our sins. Let's keep going. I'm going to do one more and I'm going to close out. Where's this at? I keep missing it. Here we go. Ecclesiastes 1:5. All right, hold on. Let me do two more because I just remembered one more that I wanted to do in Psalms. So the sun rises and goes down, and it hurries to the place where it rises. The sun rises and goes down and hurries to the place where it rises. Interesting, right? So Ecclesiastes 1:5, that is. So I want to do this one in Psalms. I think it's Psalms 148, if I'm not mistaken. Psalms 148, 4, where he's talking about the waters above. "Praise him, you highest heavens, and you waters above the heavens." Okay, so he's talking, David is making reference to the waters that are above the firmament. Okay, this was common knowledge to them at this time. So let me go ahead and close out. Again, there's many more. All you have to do is type in flat earth Bible verses and they should come up. There's a lot of them. I just like using this one. But you guys can check out all these different verses that I didn't touch on and just, pray on it. Read it in its context and see if it's making sense, if it's valid. So before I leave out, I'm going to leave you guys with one video at the end of the video, or at the end of my video. And, I hope you guys are in the word. These times are coming short, man. Like, time is really speeding up. And there's a lot going on in the world, and I hope you guys are prayed up. There's not too much time left. Continue to save others that need saving. If you're in this word or you know the truth already, go out. Spread the word. He gave you gifts. Whatever your gift may be, use it to save souls because time is short. All right? Again, all praise to the Most High Yahweh, and I'm going to see you all on Judgment Day.
The pitcher, steroid Santa Claus, kicks and deals. It's a long fly ball going back, and the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium. Oh, Simpson just broke this dream's reality wide open.